Wednesdays here on the program, we like to put the spotlight on the farm women's group, Common Ground.
Common Ground is a group of farm women who want to be a resource for consumers who want to know more about how their food is grown. In this segment, we hear from Common Ground volunteer Anita Keys, who is from Ellesmere. She is shedding some light on how the American food dollar is spent.
Well, we are learning more about where our food dollar goes. And joining me now is Anita Keys. And Anita, you're a Common Ground volunteer. Tell us a little more about some of the data that you've discovered.
Okay, so this all started, I was in the grocery store and there was a lady whom I casually knew, and she was just like furious about the price of her groceries. And I wanted to take her aside and say, oh, you know, here in America, we have the safest food, we have the cheapest food supply, but that was not a teachable moment. I knew that because she was emotional. And so I have been looking into that. And I even got a hold of Ashley Fellers. She's from the Nebraska Grocery Alliance, and she taught me some very interesting things. One, and this I kind of knew, but that in America, we only spend 10% of our income on food. Whereas you go to other countries, you go to India, it's 30%, Kenya, 53%. Another thing that I found very interesting from her was that the grocery store only gets like a 1 to 2% markup from what they sell. So that was a fascinating find for me. I also want to share a little bit about, okay, so I checked with USDA, and I even actually corresponded with someone from there a little bit about how our food dollar is spent. The marketing bill, the farm share is 14.5 cents, whereas the marketing share is 85.5%. Now, I also want to touch a little bit, and I've always thought this was just fascinating, the food dollar. And I think you're going to show this chart, which shows that food processing, 15.2%, packaging, 2.9%, transportation, 3.5% of that dollar, wholesale trade, 10.7%, retail trade, 12.7%, food services, 33.6%, energy 3.2%, finance and insurance 3.5%, and advertising 3 cents. And then other, and they say on here that other includes agribusiness, legal, and accounting. And who would have thought when it comes to, you know, buying that gallon of milk or that carton of eggs or whatever it is that you're buying at the grocery store, I mean, I personally had never stopped and thought about all the inputs that go into that. But I kind of thought those are some interesting facts that I've picked up, and maybe they're interesting to you.
Very good. Okay, those are interesting numbers, especially when you're going to the grocery store. It's something to think about a little bit. All right, and Anita, you're coming back with a recipe to share.
We're going to do baked spaghetti.
Sounds good. All right, we'll see you in a few minutes.